Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to a new video. So, for those of you that aren't aware, Microsoft has done something really cool for the 20th anniversary of Xbox, and I figured I would take a first look at it here live with you guys, and kind of share my experience looking through my personal Xbox museum. So if you're unsure what this is, and I'm going to dive in here in a second, they've essentially created this virtual museum that you can move around in and look at stats that you never knew before, sort of in this really cool display. It's also got sort of historical virtual museums for all of the Xbox consoles, but the main thing I'm going to be looking at here is my Xbox museum. So what do you say we jump in? And if you want to do this yourself, all you have to do is just go to museum.xbox.com, log in, and you can look through your own virtual museum. All right, so this is my first time looking at this stuff, and I just thought it would be quite interesting to look at this live with you guys. So let's see what we've got here. Number of games played. So I've played 621 unique games. That's not too bad, right? Total achievements. Oh, just too shy of 3,000. Too bad I didn't know that ahead of time. I would have got 2 more just to make it an even 3. Number of rare achievements. So the one thing that you need to know about me, I used to be really into Gamerscore. I used to be addicted to it, honestly. I would rent games from Gamefly just to get the Gamerscore, and then eventually I did just drop all interest in achievements. So you can kind of see here throughout the years how well, this is already at the point where I stopped caring about achievements. But once, you know, the Xbox Series X started kicking in, as you can see, I've been doing a lot of backwards compatible games in 2020, 2021. We're back at it, playing a lot more games, getting a lot more achievements. First console played, the original Xbox, of course. I actually did not have the original Xbox on launch because it came out around almost the exact same time as the GameCube. I can only pick one. I chose the GameCube, but I got the Xbox not too long after. And I have been an Xbox Live member since release date of the service. And as you can see here, I still have my original Xbox Live kit that I bought in a store. I had to walk into the store and buy it back on release day. So I've actually, there was a time where I lapsed my subscription for a year or two. So I don't have 20 years on my profile, but it's pretty close. One of the first games I played, Quake 4. That's, I mean, that's not incorrect. Obviously, this is only tracking 360 and not original Xbox. But yeah, Quake 4 is one of the games that I played with my 360 launch. So they are definitely not wrong with that. One of the multiplayer games you played? That's what they pick? Anarchy Reigns? Of all the multiplayer games they could have picked, I barely touched Anarchy Reigns. I bought it. I played online for like maybe an hour and was just not very happy with it. Never touched it again, so that's pretty interesting. First sign on the live, November 23rd, 2002. There you go. I believe that is the launch date of the original Xbox Live service, so there we have it, the proof. First log on of each console, 360, December 18th, 2005. The 360, I don't remember if I got that. Yeah. Oh, obviously I didn't get it on the launch, but as you can see, I was waiting out in the freezing cold to get this thing right before Christmas, and I was waiting in line to get my 360. It was a very exciting time. First log on. They have no record of my Xbox One. I don't know why that is, but I do have an Xbox One, and I did get that on launch. First play of the most played game. Oh boy, I think I know what's coming up here. April 19th, 2006. Alright, it's leading up to something. If you guys are curious to see what my most played game of all time is, well, you're about to see it. First game per console, Quake 4. I have a hard time believing that, but maybe that's true. I mean, I guess I popped that in first before anything else, I suppose. I mean, I had other launch games for 360, but I guess that was the first one I popped in. Xbox One, Forza Motorsport 5. That seems about right. Series X, the first game I played was the Falconeer. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're not wrong. I kind of remember that. I didn't really care for that game. First achievement, Flawless Lap. Oh, that must be for Ridge Racer 6 or Need for Speed Most Wanted. First rare achievement, First Blood. That must be for Quake 4. Oh, here it is. Most played game each year, Back 4 Blood Standard Edition. Yeah, I was playing a lot of Back 4 Blood recently. 2020 Final Fantasy 13 for 2020 and 2019. Oh my god, these most played games. Okay, so apparently that was when I was learning the speedrun for Final Fantasy 13, and it was my most played game for both years. That's that's something. I mean, I know I played a lot of it to learn the speedruns, pretty intense speedrun. My most played game of 2018 is Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, you might be like, oh, cool, Sonic on Genesis? No, this is Sonic 06. Yeah. I was speedrunning Sonic 06, so that would explain it. Super Lucky's Tale. Yeah, I was routing Super Lucky's Tale for a speedrun as well. Really enjoying my playthrough of that game with the Xbox One, so that makes a lot of sense. Most played game of all time for me on the Xbox 360, or the Xbox platform in general, Final Fantasy XI. Now, they are saying this is Seekers of Alduin, so that... It's just one of the expansions, but as a whole, I don't even think I played that expansion, to be honest with you. That's the one that added the new jobs. But most played game, Final Fantasy XI, that is not a surprise to me at all. I've played that game for, you know, a couple thousand hours for sure, and that's definitely not a surprise. Oh my goodness. Top 5 most played games. Wow, okay, this is interesting. Bomberman Live. I played a ton of Bomberman Live on Xbox Live Arcade, a ton of it. I was very addicted to that, and was playing the online multiplayer for that quite a while. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. See, people think, oh, Pete doesn't play shooters, right? No, I played a lot of shooters back in the day, especially online competitive ones, and I played a ton of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. If you're familiar with my old like top 10 games lists, that made it onto one of the lists. I used to play a lot of competitive shooters online. I used to do a lot of knife-only stuff in Modern Warfare 2. RPG, obviously Final Fantasy XI Online MMO. By far the most played game. Strategy game, Halo Wars. I did play quite a lot of Halo Wars online. That's interesting to see that on here. What a nice variety of games, huh? And other Play Online Viewer. This is hilarious because if you know what Play Online Viewer is, it's essentially, in order to sign on the Final Fantasy XI, you had to go onto their own sort of interface to sign into the game, and that's what Play Online Viewer is. So one of my most played games of all time on Xbox 360 is the service to sign into Final Fantasy XI. That should tell you something. That should tell you something. It's kind of funny. Most rare achievements, Crimson Skies. Elusive, not so scary after all, room for reflection. This is a little silly because I'm not even sure what these are from, to be honest. I don't know. If you guys know, and leave a comment below if you know what all of these achievements are from. I would love to know. But apparently they're the hardest ones to get that I have. Some of the ones for Final Fantasy XI are quite rare. Let's see here. My current gamer score, 75,000. Most played game, Final Fantasy XI. There it is. All the stats all together. Of course, I got all the consoles. Let's see what happens if we step onto here. Hit enter to activate the story. Oh, I see. Okay. So that's just a summary that I can share with people. Pretty cool if you want to share that online. And then this over here is a way to get back to the portal. So that's really cool. You know, some of the things are a little vague. I wish there was a little bit more information, like maybe hours played on some of these games would be really interesting to know. Or maybe I don't want to know those stats. There is another thing where you can kind of like go through the history of the consoles. I'm not really going to get into that too much here, but if you guys want me to look through all of these in a future video, let me know. I definitely wouldn't mind going through these. Just to give you a little preview of it. It does kind of, with the recording software that I'm using, it does tank my video quality here, so you have to forgive me. But as you can see, there's a bunch of other people apparently in real time exploring the museum. So it might be really cool to make a video on each of the platforms and kind of go through, you know, my history with each console, because I have, you know, played all the consoles, and see what they have in the museum here. But, you know, this might be a little long for this video, but first of all, really cool of Microsoft to put this together. I hope they keep this around permanently, or at least for the foreseeable future, and I hope to see other companies doing the same thing, to be honest. This was a really cool way to kind of glimpse back in more than just looking at stats in an email or something, at your history with a platform. And well, here's the 20 more years with Microsoft and their future consoles. I've always been a fan of Xbox consoles going forward, and lately I've been really enjoying my Series X with all the amazing backwards compatibility stuff, and just, you know, some of the exclusives that come out on both PC and Xbox consoles. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.